Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, and today just a quick look at Honkai Star Rail. So first off, I was asked if I wanted to take a look at this game by Good Gamey, and to which I was rather tentative, as I'm not the biggest fan of turn-based games. Nor do I play many mobile games that much these days, with the exception of a bit of Infinite Lagrange. However, I thought, what the hell, why not have a Butchers, it can't hurt. And I'm glad I did, as I was surprised. The combat was turn-based, but it was exceptionally well done and well polished, and the game gave a great visual experience which made it feel and look far better than most turn-based games I've played recently. So after winning me over, I carried on playing for quite a while that day, almost 8 hours in a single session, and then I played on and off for several days afterwards. Feature-wise, there is quite a lot to do, which bewildered me as I was not expecting something this vast to be in a game that can be played on mobile. There's combat, exploration, there's even an element of collection, and not a completely disjointed storyline. The storyline is quite interesting, however I don't want to delve too much into this, as I have heard there's an entire manga or visual novel, if you will, that acts as a sort of prequel to the events currently happening in the game. And as I've not read it, nor do I want to spoil the storyline for everyone that hasn't played the game as of yet, I won't delve too much into that here. The game is set in a universe in which humanity follows the paths of beings or gods called Aeons. The player character awakens without their memory in a space station and finds out they're imbued with a Stellaron, a cosmic entity of disruptive power. You then proceed to join a group of explorers or adventurers known as Trailblazers, travelling to and from world to worlds on a space train. Yes, I did just say a space train. It is an anime thing after all. There's going to be weird space trains, let alone your guy runs around with a baseball bat and everybody else has giant weapons and swords, but, you know, there is that as well. The fun and goofy humour and charismatic voice acting really helps get you involved in the game's storyline, and it's been a very enjoyable experience watching the cutscenes and learning a bit about each character and their own personal storyline and backgrounds. Moving on, the combat feels fluid with absolutely fantastic visuals, especially on the PC version. That makes even basic attacks look good, let alone each character's ultimate being quite a visual extravaganza, not too dissimilar to what you would find in something of a more robust PC equivalent game. They felt and looked powerful, and I still have not grown tired with the same animation of each character's ultimate as of yet, so I feel this was extremely well executed. Combat mostly revolves around setting your team up correctly. There's a fair few characters available in a gacha-style pull, which I'll get onto a little bit later on. Each character has an element type, and each element has a weakness and strength, similar to, you know, standard sort of rock, paper, scissors in these kind of games. Furthermore, as each character has a class from AoE damage dealers to single target damage dealers, there's also support in the form of a healing, offensive or defensive, buffing allies, and debuffing enemies. This leads to quite an interesting way of setting up your parties, as you are limited in how many characters you could bring with you, and having to take into account the enemy's weakness to elements, and further, what you will bring to your party in terms of design. Will you have support for healing, or will you forego all buffs in favour of more damage output? Bosses also make an extravagant appearance in the game with great visuals and usually some tricks and intuitive puzzles in combat to beat them, multiple phases. Usually quite fun and interesting, and are quite an event in themselves. All in all, this is one of the most satisfying turn-based RPGs with tactical team-based decisions I've played in quite a while. Exploration is not something to ignore either, as you roam around open world style maps. There's multiple hidden collectibles to find, including puzzles and the likes that unlock. Sometimes a puzzle in one area will unlock keys to get into an area previously unexplorable. There's multiple side quests that can be picked up, as well further increasing the reasons to explore. Something to be aware of, though, are that enemies in some areas can be quite a few levels ahead of you, and in quite a few situations they will best you in combat regardless of what you try. However, this does mean that there's room for you to level and come back to some of these areas at a later date to discover what secrets they hold. The game is quite a bit of fun, and certainly if you enjoy the anime art style, you'll enjoy the visuals, which are probably the best visuals I've seen on a mobile platform in a long time. But even on the PC game, which I have played probably the most amount of hours in so far, plays extremely well and is probably one of the top looking games I've played recently. As mentioned a little earlier, there is gacha in the game where you spend a currency that you earn in-game and can also buy in the microtransaction store to unlock new characters for you to bring into your party. Thankfully, however, the microtransaction shop isn't just in your face constantly. In actual fact, it's a bit hidden away in the menus, which is a nice change from the usual plastered adverts all over the screen for ways of you spending your money. I've also found that it is completely unneeded, as I have played the game without anything blocking my progress with just what I've spent resource-wise from just leveling up and farming areas. With a space opera-like storyline, and with goofy to dark comedy mixed in, and even Final Fantasy-esque soap opera storytelling mixed in, this is certainly a game I will be recommending to check out. Especially if you are the type of person that likes the JRPG style of games. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.